Alright, hello, this is Todd, Red River Tactical and Outdoors. Today we're going to be looking at the Proctor Y-notch sights for the CZP10. We're going to do an install on this. You see that's the package that the sights comes in. They're fiber optic. Comes with a green and a red tube, front and rear sight. The reason that I bought these sights is I have this CZP10C with a threaded barrel. It's got suppressor height sights. They're night sights, and these sights are fine. I'm just going with a standard height sight because I have some holsters that the suppressor height sights don't work in, and I'm never going to put a suppressor on a pistol anyway. I think that's pretty stupid, but even if I did, you can still go off regular height sights and shoot fine with a suppressed handgun if you know what you're doing. The suppressor height sights does make it easier, but we're going to change these out today. So first thing we're going to do is make sure the gun's empty. It is. So we're going to pull the trigger, take the gun apart, set the slide right there, put the frame to the side, take the recoil spring out, and we'll take the barrel out. First we gotta unscrew the thread protector and get that barrel out. This is a handy little vise here. It's Grant Tools. I got it off of Amazon. I like it because it has these soft jaws. They just magnet in, which is real handy. So I'm going to put the slide in here. I'm going to do the rear sight first. So I'm going to set it up where I can get some purchase on that thing. And I'm just going to snug it up, not going to tighten it real tight. That should be fine. So the Allen wrenches that I found have two different sizes. This front Allen wrench to fit this front sight is a 1/16, and the rear sight happens to be a 2 metric that fits it. So what I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and remove or back this rear sight set screw all the way out. And it comes all the way out, as you see. I'm going to set it over here so I don't lose it in this bow. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to drive this sight out of that channel with a punch and a hammer. It's not real tight, it's moving pretty good. One more. There it goes. There's the rear sight to come off of it. Put that to the side. What I'm going to do is I'm going to clean this channel out real good. Don't look to be too dirty. And then we'll get the rear sight out of this package. Careful not to lose that little set screw that sits in there. So this rear sight, the Y-notch, it's got a serrated back, which I really like, and it's going to have 2 set screws in it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get that thing in there, then I'm going to back those set screws out and put Loctite on them. Going to test the fit on it. And this thing it goes about halfway with just a hand. So it's going to be a pretty snug fit, but it's not going to be too tight, too awful bad. So I'm going to start it the same way I took that other one out. What I am going to do is I'm going to use a little red Loctite. In this sight channel right here, it's got a little spot milled out, and what I want to do is I'm going to fill that spot with red Loctite. And that's got it, just a little bit, not a whole lot. Don't want to make a mess out of it. So I'm going to start this. Seems like it wants to start from this side a whole lot easier, so we'll go with that. So same thing, I'm just going to take this punch and just drift that sight into place. Going slowly but surely. It's getting real close now. A little bit more. That looks about perfect right there. I think that's going to be really close. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these screws out like I said. I'm going to back them all the way out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to drop some blue Loctite into these holes, just in case I ever want to get this sight out. I'm going to put that screw right back in there, making sure that you do not cross thread this thing. And with that blue Loctite, you don't have to go really tight on this to get that set screw in there. Same thing with this other one. Back it all the way out here. Going to put some blue loctite in that one too. This blue loctite will come off. And again, not looking to get that really tight, just getting it down in there. Good. And now I'm going to wipe this blue Loctite off, and that rear sight will be installed. So now with the rear sight installed, I'm going to move to the front sight. So I'm going to loosen this vise up just a bit, and I'm going to bring the front sight, or the front of the slide, back, and again just snug it up a little bit. Now first thing we're going to do is remove this front sight set screw. And again, we don't want to lose it, so I'm going to set it over here in this bowl. Now, I want to keep my suppressor height sights, and I don't want to bust that tritium. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a sock over this sight, and then I'm going to put a pair of pliers on it, and then I'm going to kind of drive it out with a hammer. And there it goes. There you can see the front sight, no damage on it at all, so what we wanted. Put that in the bowl. Now we'll take the front sight out of the package. Careful not to lose that set screw again. So we got the front sight out of the package. Now what we're going to do is clean that slot out where that front sight goes. Really good. Now we're going to test the fit of this new front sight. This front sight does not come with a fiber optic in it. So we'll put it on and install it first without the fiber optic. Now this thing is going to be a little tight, so we want to be careful and not mess that up. We're going to take a punch and drive that front sight in, being really careful. Just tapping ever so slightly, and it's moving as we tap. And there it goes. It's all the way in there. Now we got to see what size that set screw is. Same size as the back too, so that's good. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to set that set screw there, and I'm going to put some red Loctite in that hole. There is no adjustment to that front sight, so that's why I'm putting red Loctite in it, because I don't want that thing to come out. I'm going to find my Allen wrench that fits that. And we're going to put that screw in there. Just tighten it up. Now what I'm going to do is get all that red Loctite off. You want to make sure you get all that red Loctite off, because that red Loctite will discolor the slide a little bit. That I found it doing on my Glocks. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over that set screw and just make sure it's really snug in there. And there we have it. Front sight's installed. Now we're going to install a fiber optic rod in it. So installing the fiber optic rod, the first thing you have to do, the front of this sight is recessed for this rod to slide back into. So we got to make a bubble on one end of this rod for it to hold the sight in. So what we're going to do, we're going to take a lighter and we're going to light this thing. And I'm going to turn this fan off because it's blowing up flame. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold this up here, not touching the flame, because if you touch the flame, it'll cloud. It will cloud the fiber optic rod up. So we're going to put that in there and see if that's enough bubble, as you can see right there, to hold that. It might not be, but we're going to try it. Just pulling it, and that is going to be enough. So it's tight right there. So now what we're going to do is we're going to get some clippers and clip that off and do the same thing. So one good thing about these fiber optic rods and these Proctor sights is that if you mess one up, you got plenty of rod to fix it with, and you got a red one. I use the green one because with my eyes, the green just pops more than the red does. But what we're going to do right now is we're going to take these scissors and go level with the gun and cut this fiber optic rod off. Put that excess to the side. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take that and melt it in there. You want to melt it in there tight. You don't want any play in there, because if you have any play in there, it will eventually end up falling out or breaking. So we're going to, again, not touch that flame to the fiber optic because it will dull it out. But we're just going to add heat and shrink that up. There it goes. You don't want to touch that because it'll cloud it up too. Just making sure that that gets in there. And there you see the back of it and the front of it. Like I said, that green really pops. especially when you got light behind it. So that's the Frank Proctor Y-notch sights for the CZP10. I'm going to go out and start shooting this thing and see, make sure that you can see that the back lines up, the lines match pretty good, so you know that you got it centered. So I don't think there's going to be an issue with that. So we'll go out there and I'll put some shooting on it, see how it does. These are supposed to be point of aim, point of impact shooting like that. So we'll see how it goes. Alright, so we got the CZP10C with the Frank Proctor Y-notch sights on them, and we're going to test its accuracy, or rather test my accuracy. So we've got the absolute, well, the second worst ammo I've ever shot. This is Wolf 115 grain, and we're going to put it in this CZP10C here and see about the accuracy on it. We're going to start off at 7 yards, shooting at this headshot right here. I'm going to zoom in on it. You can see that 0 inside that headshot. That's where we're going to aim. These sights are big on point of aim, point of impact, so we're going to see what we get right here. And here we go. So, point of aim, point of impact, that's pretty dang close. That's 7 yards, and all of them are touching. We're going to go back to 10, aim at the same spot. So at 10 yards, still aiming at that headshot. So it opened up a little bit at 10. That was me mostly. I'm going to do 5 more at 10. So yeah, that's 10 yards. That's cheap ammo. Man, those sights pick up really good. We're going to go back to 25, and I'm going to shoot at the body. So I'm going to zoom out a little bit. Alright, I'm going to finish my 5-shot group at 25. I ran out of ammo, I had to reload. So I've got 2 rounds there at 25. I'm going to go back and fire 5 more, so that'll be a total of 7 to the body. So that group opened up at 25. We got 1 high right here, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All of them still within this area. Had 2 out of that 8-inch circle. Go to 15, see what we got at 15. That was 5 fairly quick at 15. All in. Pretty happy with that. The sights, man, they pick up fast. We'll fire 5 rapid fire at 7 yards from the holster. Make it 4, I'm out of ammo. $4.98. $6.01, had a miss. $6.20. Tried to rush it on that last one. The sights right there, I like it. I really like these sights. Again, the Y-notch from Frank Proctor. Gonna try to see if I can get that focused. But I really like them. So, hope you found this video informative. If you did, like and subscribe to the channel. Again, this is Todd, Red River Tactical and Outdoors, reminding you to be safe and always be ready.